If you're eating raw garlic cloves every morning, thinking you're doing your body a favor, I need you to stop and listen to me very carefully. You might actually be wasting most of its power. Worse, you could be irritating your stomach lining, destroying the very compound that makes garlic one of nature's most potent tools for male vitality, and getting almost none of the benefits you're chasing. I see this mistake constantly. Men over 60 who read somewhere that raw garlic is good for blood flow, good for the heart, good for performance, so they chop a clove, swallow it like a pill, and wonder why nothing changes. Here's the truth. The way you prepare garlic matters more than whether you eat it at all. And the method I'm about to show you is backed by real science, used in my clinical recommendations, and has changed the game for men I've worked with personally. If you've been eating garlic the wrong way, today is the day that changes. I'm Dr. Fiona Gray, a board-certified urologist with over 12 years of experience helping men take charge of their sexual health, their hormonal balance, and their overall vitality. I've worked with thousands of men, many in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, who sat in my office convinced that decline was inevitable. And time after time, I've watched simple, evidence-based changes restore energy, confidence, and performance in ways they never expected. Garlic, prepared correctly, is one of the most underrated tools in that toolkit. Before we get into the science, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button right now and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from today. I love hearing from men all over the world who are taking their health seriously. Your engagement helps this video reach other men who need to hear this but don't know where to look. Now let's talk about garlic. Here's what most people don't understand about garlic and why eating it raw is often a mistake. Garlic contains a compound called alliin. On its own, alliin doesn't do much. It's like a loaded weapon with the safety on. When you crush or chop garlic, an enzyme called alliinase converts alliin into allicin, and allicin is the real powerhouse. It's the compound responsible for garlic's cardiovascular benefits, its anti-inflammatory properties, its ability to support nitric oxide production, which is the key molecule behind healthy erections and strong blood flow. But here's the critical part that almost nobody knows. Allicin is extremely fragile. If you swallow a whole raw clove, alliinase never gets activated properly, and you get almost no allicin at all. If you chop garlic and immediately throw it into a hot pan, the heat destroys alliinase before it can finish the conversion. And if you chew raw garlic aggressively on an empty stomach, you're flooding your gut with compounds that can cause acid reflux, nausea, and stomach lining irritation, especially in men over 60 whose digestive systems are already more sensitive. So you're either getting no benefit, destroying the benefit, or hurting yourself in the process. It's like owning a sports car, but putting the wrong fuel in the tank every single morning. Today I'm going to walk you through 7 science-backed benefits of properly prepared garlic for men over 60. And then I'll give you the exact preparation method that unlocks maximum potency. Let's count them down. Benefit number 1. Garlic supercharges nitric oxide production and blood flow. Biologically, allicin stimulates the endothelial cells lining your blood vessels to produce more nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the molecule that tells your arteries to relax and widen. Think of your blood vessels like garden hoses. As you age, those hoses get stiff and narrow. Nitric oxide is what keeps them flexible and open. When production drops, blood flow to every organ decreases, including the penile tissue. Allicin essentially helps your body keep those hoses soft, wide, and flowing freely. Emotionally, restricted blood flow doesn't just affect your body, it affects your confidence. When performance becomes unpredictable, intimacy turns from a source of connection into a source of anxiety. Men pull away, relationships suffer in silence. But when blood flow is genuinely supported, there's a quiet return of assurance, a feeling that your body is on your side again. Practically, the preparation method matters enormously here, and I'll give you the full protocol in a few minutes. But know this, properly prepared garlic consumed consistently can measurably improve vascular function within 2 to 4 weeks. Benefit number 2, garlic supports healthy blood pressure. This is one of the most well-researched benefits of allicin. Multiple clinical trials, including a meta-analysis published in the Journal of Nutrition, have shown that garlic supplementation can reduce systolic blood pressure by an average of 8 to 10 millimeters of mercury in people with elevated levels. That's a significant drop. To put it in perspective, that reduction is comparable to what some first-line blood pressure medications achieve. Biologically, allicin promotes the production of hydrogen sulfide in addition to nitric oxide, and both of these molecules work together to relax arterial walls. Emotionally, high blood pressure is a silent thief. It doesn't announce itself with dramatic symptoms, but it quietly damages the small blood vessels responsible for erections, cognitive sharpness, and kidney function. When men get their blood pressure under control, they often describe feeling clearer, lighter, and more present. I remember a patient named Walter, 73, a retired postal worker. He'd been on 2 blood pressure medications for years and still felt sluggish. His doctor had never once mentioned garlic preparation. I showed him the method I'm about to show you. 6 weeks later, Walter came back and told me his morning readings had dropped consistently, and his doctor had actually reduced one of his medications. He looked at me and said, "Doc, I feel like someone turned the volume up on my life again." That wasn't the garlic alone, but it was the missing piece his routine desperately needed. Benefit number 3, garlic fights chronic inflammation. After 60, low-grade chronic inflammation is one of the most destructive forces in your body. Researchers now call it inflammaging, the slow, persistent inflammatory state that accelerates aging, damages blood vessels, promotes plaque buildup, and undermines hormone function. Allicin and other sulfur compounds in garlic have been shown to reduce key inflammatory markers, including C-reactive protein and interleukin-6. Think of chronic inflammation like rust forming inside a pipe. You can't see it from the outside, but over time it narrows the opening, weakens the walls, and eventually causes failure. Garlic, prepared correctly, is like applying a rust inhibitor from the inside. Emotionally, inflammation manifests as that persistent heaviness, the feeling of waking up stiff, sore, and 10 years older than you are. When it begins to recede, men often tell me it feels like a fog lifting. Practically, the anti-inflammatory benefits of garlic compound over time. This isn't a one-day fix. Consistency is everything. Benefit number 4, garlic supports healthy cholesterol ratios. Allicin has been shown to modestly reduce LDL cholesterol, the type associated with arterial plaque, while supporting HDL cholesterol, the protective type. More importantly, it helps prevent the oxidation of LDL particles, and it's oxidized LDL that actually embeds in your artery walls and causes damage. Biologically, think of LDL like delivery trucks carrying cholesterol through your bloodstream. When they get damaged by oxidation, they crash into the artery walls and pile up. Allicin helps protect those trucks so they can deliver their cargo safely without causing accidents. Emotionally, cholesterol numbers carry a psychological weight for many men. They become a source of dread at every annual checkup. When those numbers start to shift in the right direction through a simple daily habit, there's a sense of reclaiming control over your own health narrative. And benefit number 5 is the one that surprises most men, so stay with me. Benefit number 5. Garlic has natural antimicrobial properties that support gut health and immunity. This is something most men never connect to vitality, but your gut health directly influences your hormone production, your mood, your energy, and even your sexual function. Allicin has broad-spectrum antimicrobial activity. It helps keep harmful bacteria, fungi, and even certain parasites in check without wiping out your beneficial gut flora the way antibiotics can. Biologically, your gut produces roughly 95% of your body's serotonin and is deeply involved in immune regulation. When gut health is compromised, inflammation rises, nutrient absorption drops, and your entire system struggles. Garlic acts like a selective security guard for your digestive system, letting the good guys in and keeping the troublemakers out. Practically, this is another reason preparation method matters. Raw garlic eaten aggressively can actually irritate the gut lining and cause more harm than good. The method I'll show you protects your stomach while still delivering the antimicrobial benefits. Benefit number 6. Garlic supports testosterone protection and hormonal balance. Now, garlic won't double your testosterone overnight. Anyone who tells you that is selling something. But research in animal models has shown that garlic, particularly in combination with adequate protein intake, can help reduce cortisol's suppressive effect on testosterone production. Cortisol and testosterone have an inverse relationship. When stress hormones are chronically elevated, testosterone takes a hit. Allicin helps modulate that stress response. Think of cortisol and testosterone as sitting on opposite ends of a seesaw. When cortisol stays elevated, testosterone stays suppressed. Garlic helps take some weight off the cortisol side so the seesaw can rebalance. Emotionally, testosterone isn't just about the bedroom. It's about motivation, about that fire in your gut that makes you want to get up and build something, fix something, engage with life. When that starts to return, men often describe feeling like they've woken up from a long sleep. I had a patient named Douglas, 67, a former high school football coach. Big man, strong spirit, but he'd been feeling flat for over a year. Low motivation, poor sleep, declining interest in intimacy. His testosterone wasn't critically low, but it was on the lower end of normal. Among other adjustments, I introduced him to the garlic preparation method I'm about to share. 8 weeks later, Douglas told me, "Doc, my wife says I'm arguing with the referees on TV again. She says that's how she knows I'm back." I laughed, but I understood exactly what he meant. That spark matters. Benefit number 7. Garlic supports long-term cardiovascular and sexual longevity. This is the big picture benefit that ties everything together. Cardiovascular disease remains the #1 killer of men worldwide, and erectile dysfunction is often one of its earliest warning signs. The same vascular damage that leads to heart attacks is the same damage that leads to performance issues. Garlic, through its combined effects on nitric oxide, blood pressure, cholesterol, and inflammation, addresses the root system that supports both your heart and your sexual health. Biologically, you're not treating a symptom, you're strengthening the infrastructure. Emotionally, when men understand that taking care of their circulation is simultaneously taking care of their performance, their motivation shifts. It's not vanity, it's survival and quality of life wrapped into one daily habit. Practically, this is why I tell every man over 60 in my practice, garlic is not optional. It's foundational, but only if you prepare it correctly. Quick pause before we continue, because this is the part you've been waiting for. Here's the exact preparation method that unlocks garlic's full potential. Step 1. Take 2 to 3 fresh garlic cloves and crush them with the flat side of a knife or a garlic press. You want to physically rupture the cell walls. This is what activates the alliinase enzyme and begins the conversion to allicin. Step 2. And this is the step almost everyone skips. Let the crushed garlic sit for a full 10 minutes at room temperature. Do not skip this. Do not rush it. During those 10 minutes, the alliinase enzyme is completing its work, converting alliin into allicin. If you eat it immediately or cook it immediately, you destroy this process. 10 minutes. Set a timer if you need to. Step 3. After 10 minutes, you can eat the garlic as is, mix it into a spoonful of raw honey to make it gentler on the stomach, or add it to warm food. The key is that the allicin has already been formed during the waiting period, so moderate heat after this point won't destroy it nearly as much. If you have a sensitive stomach, the honey method is ideal. 1 tablespoon of raw honey with the crushed garlic, taken first thing in the morning. It coats the stomach, supports absorption, and makes the experience far more pleasant. That's it. 3 steps. Crush, wait, consume. Do this every single morning for 4 to 6 weeks and pay close attention to your energy, your circulation, your sleep quality, and your performance. The changes are often subtle at first, then undeniable. I want you to hear something important from me today. If you've been frustrated with your body, embarrassed by changes in your performance, or quietly ashamed of how different things feel compared to 10 or 20 years ago, you are not broken. You are not past your prime. Your body is not failing you. It's asking for support. It's giving you feedback. And that feedback can be addressed with simple, consistent, dignified action. Even after 60, even after 70, you are capable of strength, vitality, and deep connection. It's never too late to start. If this video gave you hope, or if you learned something you didn't know before, give it a like so the algorithm shows it to other men who need this information. Leave a comment below and tell me, have you been eating garlic the wrong way? Type crush and wait if you're going to try this method tomorrow morning. Share this with a brother, a friend, a neighbor, anyone in your life who you think could benefit from hearing this. And hit subscribe so you never miss my weekly health tips for men over 60. You might be the one who changes another man's life just by passing this along. I'm Dr. Fiona Gray, reminding you that after 50, vitality isn't lost. It's simply waiting for you to awaken it. Take care of yourself, gentlemen, and I'll see you in the next one.